Hello, 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 and welcome to another John Casablanca Student Spotlight here in the great city of Raleigh, North Carolina, where JC Riley reigns supreme. And I have three more wonderful students with us today: Jamie, Elizabeth, and Marthilde. It's girl power here today. Are you feeling it, Jamie? Is that real? Is that the extent of your power? Come on,
Yeah.
Jamie. But no, we
Yeah.
have three very different personalities, but still three great personalities. So let's start the way we usually start, where you just go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll start with Jamie.
All right. Hi, I'm Jamie Williams. I'm 11 years old right now. I'm about to be 12 on August 1st. And I live in Burlington, North Carolina. And I had a great time going to John Casablanca's acting classes. And I'll tell you guys a special little something. I could win $2 million tomorrow in lottery and I would still act because it's really fun and I love doing it. I think that is all I've got right now for my introduction.
That is definitely the difference between me and you. You give me $2 million, and you guys will never hear from me again. All right. Let's go to Elizabeth.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Ouelette. I am 41 years old. I live in Massachusetts, and I also had a fantastic time in my modeling classes with John Casablancas. And I gotta say, $2 million isn't a whole lot of money, but if I got $20 million, you'd probably never see me again. So, yeah, I'm right on board with the coach there.
Don't tell me 2 million is not a lot of money.
Well, guess
I got
what, guys?
kids. I could blow through $2 million in a week.
I could guess what, guys? I could win 20 million and I'd still act because I love doing it.
See,
I think
you're
I
starting
think
something different because
I'm
yes, you
frozen.
could blow through that amount of money in the week, but the whole point is I don't have it to blow through it. So don't tell me it's not a lot of money. All right, and last but not least, let's hear from Marthilde.
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Hello, my name is Marthilde Pulliams. I'm a recent grad or wrapped up my acting class over at John Casablanca Centers, and I'm just glad to be here, excited, and I had an amazing time, and I'm looking forward to sharing more about it.
Okay, awesome. Jamie, what made you wanted to
I just was dancing around the house. I was like 3 and 4 years old. I was doing plays. I would take all these characters out of movies and make them like my imaginary friends. I would like act them out. And my everyone who ever saw my plays said, you really need to get into entertaining. You're really good at it. And I thought, maybe I will get into entertaining. So once I checked it out, then I realized this is the only job in the world that I can do. I couldn't survive at a desk job. My creativity must flow.
my creativity must flow. I always love when
Oh,
someone who's really young says, "When I was younger," it my always makes me.
yeah.
We had
Guys, I just wanted to point out, I think my picture's frozen because I see all you guys moving and I think
no,
my
you're not
picture's
frozen.
frozen.
You're moving on our end. You just have terrible internet. That we can see you though. You're good. All right.
Yeah.
Debbie Welch says, "Awesome, beautiful young women." Oh, thank you, Debbie. I'm not
That's
a
my
young,
that's
beautiful.
actually my friend from the grocery store. She works at a grocery store by my house and that's actually my friend. I see her when we go there.
Okay, Martfield, we're gonna have to teach Jamie that you don't spoil that in the production, right? You don't. You make everybody think it's a stranger giving you compliments. You don't
Right,
say, well,
right.
"That's my sister,"
Well, I did
because
invite my friends to watch, but all my millions and millions of fans are here too, I bet.
Martfield,
That's
what made you want to get into entertainment?
What made me want to get into it really was a desire to challenge myself. I had always been, because I'm 40 now, but up until this point, very recently, I'd always wanted to be in the background. And it's fine, but I wanted to challenge myself as I was kind of entering into this new phase. Of life and in 40, and the big 40, and so I wanted to challenge myself. And privately I always did things kind of like the young lady was saying. I always did things like singing. Jamie was saying just sing or dance or memorize dialogue and act it out. Me and my brother would practice like you know imitations and so forth. So it was always that showman in me was always there, just kind of hidden. And so I saw JC as an opportunity to bring that out and cultivate it and challenge myself in that aspect.
Nice. I love that. Elizabeth, what about you? What gave you the itch to get into entertainment?
So I lost a whole bunch of weight and I previously had like no self-confidence. And after I went through that amazing life transformation, I wanted to be able to influence other people and who has the most influence over other people. And it sounds really silly, but it's a combination of your friends and the people that you idolize. And people in entertainment are frequently idolized. And so I figured that was going to be my best route to get buy-in from people if I wanted to have any kind of influence. And I really want to be able to work with a couple of bodybuilders and do some fashion shoots with a couple of my bodybuilder icons that I kind of look up to. So
So it's like taking that idolization and using it for the power of good. I always love that to hear that. And we have a comment from Cece that says, I love that you ladies followed your desires. Really love that for y'all. Oh, thank you, Cece. That's awesome. All right. So we're going to talk about the program a little, and then we're going to talk about some other things involving you all. I would like to know, I always ask this, what was your favorite class during training? I'll start with you, Elizabeth.
oh, that's a tough one. I tell you what, as much as I struggled with runway because I was doing, it's remote, and so I'm in my home and I have a dog and I have a bunch of kids and I'm trying to do runway modeling in these big heels and I need like a controlled environment. But as frustrating as it was initially, I really enjoyed the runway portion of the course because it made me feel kind of like glamorous and confident. But it's not easy. Those shoes, not comfortable.
Right. Think about the instructing part too. I always say, I never knew it was going to be so difficult to teach adults that their left foot is on the left side of their body.
Or to get your camera in the right position to show the students your feet.
Jamie, what was your favorite class?
That's so hard because I like them all really. I loved my classmates. They were all so fun, but I liked ad libbing. I don't know if you guys called it that. It was something else.
Improv.
Improv. Yeah, well, I always call it ad libbing, but I think it's the same thing. But I loved improv because I love making up my own stuff. So, because I do that, I write stories and I write them down and I make plays and all kinds of stuff like that. So, I loved improv.
She's just a ball of energy, and I love it. Just a
Yes, I
ball of
am.
energy. Never a
I'm
dull
ra-
moment.
I'm radiating pure energy and hotness.
I'm gonna steal that. I love it.
Marthilde, what was your favorite session?
I have a it's a tie between the makeup one. Very early on I took the acting class because I really didn't know much about applying. I would watch things on IG and kind of get overwhelmed after like 3 seconds in. So so the instructor, Miss Tequila, was really good about kind of showing the steps and having to understand, so it made it fun. and I
Hmm.
really enjoyed that. And then also improv, just for the ability to feed off of my classmates because they were so different and so cool and creative. So it was great to feed off of each one and challenge myself in that way.
Okay, so we had the fun class. Which one was the most challenging for you? Anybody? Uh-oh, your audio went out. Or did my audio go out? There we go.
So the commercial was a little bit challenging because I didn't realize how fast 30 to 45 seconds could possibly go by and how few words you can actually cram into that time frame. And I talk like the Matchbox Man when I'm under pressure. So
So it makes a challenge. That could make it very challenging. Jamie, what about you?
I'm not sure. None of them were really, I guess, challenging. They were like a good challenge, but not like impossible challenge. I'd say maybe voiceovers. That was a little tough, but I still had fun doing it.
Yeah, well, we'll be aimed for you to have fun and learn at the same time. I'm not going to make it
Yeah.
impossible, or else you wouldn't be able to get through it. But I get what you're saying. Marthilde, what about you? What was your what was your most challenging one, if there was one?
It was definitely the posing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the prepping for the full body shots, the posing, and it was, I don't know why. It was again kind of like the left foot on the left side kind of thing. So it was that, and just kind of getting out of my own head.
Mhm.
And the coach was really really good about telling us that get out of your own head and just flow. So that was challenging, but it was in a good way, you know.
Okay, sweet. Favorite
yeah,
coach?
I have to say the freeze modeling.
Mm-hmm.
We did that class after I had just done a whole bunch of squats. And then I got myself into like this lunge position, and we were supposed to hold it for like 120 seconds or something. So I think that might have actually been the most physically challenging class in the whole series. But that was my own fault because I didn't realize what it entailed.
So when they had you frozen in position, you were really feeling it.
Oh yes.
Okay, awesome. Favorite coach, Jamie.
Who was my favorite coach?
Hmm.
I liked everyone, honestly. I don't know. That would be really hard to pick a favorite. There was one girl I liked. She was shadowing, and then one time she was the coach. I don't know her name. She has like black hair. It's kind of like short, but I don't remember her name. But I liked her a lot, and I liked Jackson a lot. And you, of course, John. I
You don't
guess
have to, you don't have to throw me in there.
yeah. Well, I guess you three are my favorites. But I had a great time with everyone.
All right, and Elizabeth, what about you?
I have to say, all the coaches were fantastic. I'm probably not recalling the young man's name correctly. It may have been Artemis.
Artemis.
I have him on Instagram, and he's
He's
Artemis
got
got
is a
he's
dreads.
got long
student.
locks,
It's
right?
Brandon.
Brandon, yes, he
Artemis.
was so much fun, and also Tequila.
Okay,
She was a lot
awesome.
of fun too.
And what about
Absolutely.
you, Martiel?
Um, some great ones so far. I enjoyed, not to sound funny, but I enjoyed each of the coaches because they brought something different. But my coach Tequila was awesome, and I see her face, but I don't recall her name. And my apologies. She's got blonde hair. She's in Florida, and
Renette.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
Coach
Thank
Renette.
you. I enjoyed Jackson and Tequila and you as well, but there was something about Lynette because she had us give feedback to each other. And I learned so much from the coaches, and I also learned that much more from the other students and made us all kind of get better. So I really, really liked all of them. But yeah.
Was there ever a time in your journey to wanting to be in entertainment, Martiel, where whether it was life circumstances or just outside influence or anything that almost deterred you from either starting or continuing? And if there was, what was that, if you don't mind sharing, and how did you get through it?
Absolutely. I there were some challenging moments during the course of during the course of my 30 weeks. One of the things was trying to transition and go into school, move across country and start law school. In the midst of all of that, and kind of coordinating family and my husband and so forth. And so there was moments where I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. My plate is too full, because I really wanted to give my all. And I feel like I did. And I'm glad that I stuck it out. And I'm glad that I reached back and utilized resources like talking to some of the coaches offline and sharing some of my hardships or some of my overwhelm in that aspect. And they were able to give me some good insight. So I want to say like around the 25, 26 mark, that was really, really challenging. And I wanted to finish so bad, but that was for me a lot of balls in the air, but I'm so glad that I did it. So
So, I definitely, like I said, I before was, I didn't find myself to be somebody that belonged in the entertainment industry. So that was definitely a deterrent. When I was a kid, I always, did, recorded fake radio shows and all that fun stuff that kids like to do. And when video cameras came out, because that was like a new thing when I was a kid, was everybody had the handheld video cameras, and I always wanted to be in front of it. But then I just didn't feel like I belonged in the industry. So, when I did have the life changes that made me feel more confident, I got involved with, Casablancas, but then I also underwent a major life transition in the middle of the course, and I also moved halfway across the country, so I can absolutely relate to that there was some significant overwhelm for a period of time. I didn't have a stable place, and trying to find a place to do the courses was a little bit challenging, but I'm really glad that I was able to get through it because they've been fantastic.
The stories of, hey, someone slept in their car to get a role. It's like nothing is easy, right? And you both have pushed through it. Jamie, in your limited time on Earth, did you ever have any? Because it sounds like you've wanted to do this ever since you could speak. So I don't know if anything
You are right.
almost deterred you from pursuing or finishing. If it was, what was it, and how did you get through it?
There was absolutely nothing that could ever deter me from wanting to be an actress. And I love this class. I didn't have much getting in my way, so I have to say nothing.
Okay, awesome. But now here's the good part, being young. Like once you get a little older, and I mean older like in your 20s, if stuff pops up, you have like these experience that you've heard these ladies talk about, hey, these are things that life might throw at you, but you've got to push through them. And that's the message we're trying to bring to a lot of students and people out there who want to get into entertainment. Don't let the roadblocks stop you. We have a
Let me
comment
tell you,
from
I have.
LaShawn Smith. Hold on. That says Marthilde killed the voiceover with no practice. Medea and Dr. Phil, so funny. So you did a voiceover using Dr. Phil talking to Medea? Wait a minute. You need to record that. I need
I
to see
did,
that.
I did. I really do have to record it. It was so fun. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. What were you going to say, Jamie? Sorry, that comment had popped in.
Oh, well, since you were talking about voiceovers, my voiceover was the Hulk. And what I came up with was bananas. It was all about this whole attack of the bananas, magic space bananas attacking. It was really funny. I just came up with it. I tried to make it a little more like comedic. And what I was going to say was, like you asked, like if anything ever like would deter me or has deterred me. I wouldn't say it didn't deter me. It actually made me stay strong and encourage and made me want to push harder. I had a lot of people doubting me, and they were some people close to me, but my good old dad here stayed by my side through all of it, and I when people doubt me, it motivates me to push harder. Like I want to get a Lamborghini. I actually have the color and everything picked out. It's the color of my nails. It's this like neon green. And I had someone close to me say, "You're not gonna get a Lamborghini." So that now I'm gonna get a Lamborghini. So like doubt motivates me. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like some people doubt like makes them want to stop, but doubt motivates me.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
love that. I love that for you, and I love that your dad's gonna buy you a Lamborghini. That's awesome. Yeah, that is he
Oh man.
laughing? Is he? Hey,
No.
have your dad show his face real quick. This is such a great support from her. Let's see, crazy dad. He doesn't know how to operate a cell phone, but he loves
Dad,
all his fans.
Dad's right here. He's doing well. Yeah, I'm not like one of the parents that say, you got to be an actor. She came to me and said, hey, Dad, I want to do this. And I said, okay, I'm all in. I'll help you. Because to me, it's positive. But I never pushed her towards it or forced her to it. She just came to me and said, I want to do it. And I said, okay, I'm all in.
That's amazing. I love
Well,
Now,
thanks for your support, old man.
you guys have fun.
it. Thank you for
So,
your
Dad, my daughter wants a blue Corvette. Just while we're talking about it.
We're putting it on the list. Martille, what would you like?
Is anybody adopting? I'll take a G wagon. Who's
No,
adopting?
he's taking orders right now. So Martille's getting the G wagon, and I'll text you guys what I want since he's putting a list together. Um, so I would like for people to know about you outside of entertainment. So, what is the life of Elizabeth like? Elizabeth like?
Oh, goodness. So I am a treasury accountant and I have my own business as a fitness, nutrition, and wellness coach. And I am pursuing a degree in exercise science right now. I also am going through a course for my employer online. I have 3 kids, 16, 14, and 5. I have a German Shepherd. I love to climb mountains and I really want to help the world live a healthier life, which is why I started doing all this to begin with, so that, people wouldn't just be like, she's a crazy lady. To be like, she's famous. We should listen to her.
You're right. And everybody, her business for her health business is in the description. So their social media links are in the description, as well as some of the businesses that they either own or work for that they'd like to promote. So go ahead and check those out. What about you, Martille? I see you're in the I can tell that's California just by the way it looks. But tell us what why you moved to California, what you're doing, and what are you pursuing?
Yes, so I moved to California last week to pursue my law degree over at Pepperdine University, a degree in master's in dispute resolution. And I'd wanted to pursue it for a while, a long time, and I'm grateful that my family, my husband, and everyone has been so supportive. But yes, I'm in beautiful Southern California, Malibu, California. And I'm sorry, what was the other question? I'll still, kind of California dreaming.
That'd be
What
great.
made me want to pursue?
Mhm.
I wanted to pursue because I love dealing with people. I love working with when it comes to conflict resolution. I love kind of understanding why people do what they do, and I had done it with my previous work. I've got some background in finance and accounting, so I'd been in corporate actions for about 6 years, and then in New York, and then moved to Texas and stood up from there, and then did about 4 or 5 years active duty finance and all throughout that time, and then I got off of duty in 2021 altogether and did real estate and so on and so forth. So some of the things that I like to do outside of school and outside of reading, which is basically all I'm doing right now, is just studying, reading 100%. What I like to do is write poetry. I have an Amazon business, so my husband and I are working on, building that with our own brand. And then I also love just being out in nature and taking walks and going to the beach. So that's what I love to do.
All right. And Jamie, what are we doing outside of entertainment pursuit?
Well, I'm a full-time cat mom. I take care of my little fuzzy man. I swim at the Y. I love exercise, eating healthy, keeping up my gorgeousness, and I love going to the gym and working out and seeing my neighbor who has 3 dogs and playing with them and posting on Instagram and hanging out with my family. I like go-kart racing. I'm really good at it. And I just like activities like sports and, being active and running around. I've been getting into archery. I'm shooting a bow and arrow in my backyard now. And I have a lot of Nerf guns. I have a little Nerf gun collection. I have like 13 Nerf guns, and I shoot those around the house, and I shoot my dad and have wars. We have Nerf wars.
I never know what's going to come out of your mouth, and that's my greatest joy of talking to you because you're like me. You never know what I'm going to say sometimes in a conversation. So when I ask you a question, I'm just all ears waiting to see what craziness I'm going to get out of that. But that's the fun existence. You are a kid who's learning to be a kid, but also you've got some priorities that you're thinking about in the future. It's hard to do both sometimes, especially when you're young. And I'm not saying this as an older person. I'm just saying we all used to be young, so we get it. A lot of us pretend like we forget what it's like to be young when we get older, but I'm not one of those. I remember it, so that could be a very hard thing to balance, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What do you see yourself doing in the future? If you're picturing yourself 20 years from now, what would be the height of your accomplishment?
I'm in California, probably LA. I'm driving my neon green Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. And I have a few million in the bank, and I'm a famous movie star.
All right, we're gonna have flying cars 20 years from now, so I hope you're not on the ground still. Elizabeth, what about you?
So 20 years from now, I would like to be established in my wellness business with just a handful of clients. And ultimately, I'd like to be financially secure as an actress. I want to do action movies. And then I can offer services to people for free if I can become financially secure. And I'm going to renovate a bus. And 20 years from now, the little one will be off the bus. She'll be doing her own thing. But I would like to renovate a bus, build myself a hotel on wheels, and I still want to be on the ground. I'm still going to climb mountains in 20 years while I'm traveling the country on my bus.
Yes.
Well, in 20 years, you're only gonna be what, 50? So you'll be all right.
Aw, that's so sweet of you.
Oh, I thought I was actually doing real math. My bad.
I love nature, mountain climbing. I love getting out in nature, Elizabeth, and it's a good thing that you're staying fit and healthy. Mountain climbing is a great exercise. And I like hiking. We have a nice state park, and I dragged old dad out yesterday. He wore my jacket, which actually fit him. Wow. I got it a little bit because I like some room in my jacket, so I'm like, hey, that fit you. And yeah, we actually got out there and we walk and we hike back by the waterfall in the woods, and I like hiking. Yeah, it's really nice.
Well, I wouldn't mind hiking with you all, but once you start talking about climbing mountains, you're just gonna have to go by yourself.
Yeah, hiking and climbing mountains totally different for sure.
Yeah, I like.
I know it's nerve wracking when I see them like they have to take it in for the night and they uh, clip into the side of the mountain in their sleeping bag. I'm like, I would not be able to sleep.
I had no idea they sleep on the side of the mountain. That is
Oh
wild.
yeah, they know how to wedge themselves up there. Even like it'll be flat, not like they're laying on a cliff. It's like flat, and they go ahead, hammer those spikes in there. They've got their little sleeping bag and their little tent, and I'm like, woo.
I kind of want to try that.
Listen, I let me rephrase that. I'll do it if somebody else is putting the equipment together because I'm not trusting myself in doing it.
See,
All
I
right,
wouldn't trust
I'll put the
anybody else.
equipment
I'd only
together.
do it if I could do it.
No, I'll let the experts do it. No,
Yes.
Don't worry, John.
I mean an
I'll put
expert. I don't mean my knucklehead friend that went with me. No,
I'll
Right.
put all of your equipment together, John.
no, absolutely not. As
Yeah.
smart as you are, you're still a
Also,
child, so you're gonna miss something.
John, you remember how you were talking about like you guys were all young once?
Hmm.
Yeah.
What? So, John, I'm just curious. What was it like when you were young? Tell me about all your dinosaur friends.
Why are you? Oh, I'm that old. Oh, you got dad jokes? Did you get that one
Boom.
from your dad? Did he whisper that to you? You know,
Nope, I kick that out.
I'm 1 year older than Elizabeth. So if you're saying that to me, you're talking to her too.
Oh wow. Well, Elizabeth looks like she's 20.
Aw, she's so sweet.
You keep asking
Yep.
questions like those, and you won't make it to our age. Oh man. So, uh, Marthilde, 20 years from now, what does success look like for you?
Oh, 20 years from now, success looks like to me my son, fully grown, 26 years old, and I traveling, probably have a chateau in Europe somewhere. Me established and have some amazing credits under my belt. Did an action movie with The Rock and did a romantic comedy with well, I have a crush on Don Cheadle, so some kind of something with Don Cheadle. So as long as I've got that in my credits, um, and using the money from that and my law degree to, do something philanthropic, or do something that's really going to kind of make an impact outside of myself. That to me would be success. And of course, my son being happy and doing what he wants to do, and yeah, and traveling as much as we can, whether it's a bus, whether it's an RV, whether it's a hot air balloon, whatever the case may be.
Got a hot air balloon.
Maybe my own sailboat. Actually, I'm a fan of sailing now. I went on a cruise last month for my birthday, so maybe like do that. Success would be a yacht, and charter it and have inner
Catamaran.
city kids come and we'd sail. That kind of thing. That's success to me.
Nice. Well, maybe what if they don't have a romantic comedy with you and Don Cheadle, but they just give you The Rock instead? Are you still taking it?
It's a hardship, John, but I will take it.
I'll take that role for you. I'll take that role for you.
You can be
She
my
said it's
stand-in. You know
hard.
what I'm saying?
She's like,
Definitely.
darn it, somebody's got to do it, right?
No,
That is
I'll take a pay
hilarious.
cut even. Hey, that's what I have to do.
You said I'll take a pay cut either. That's what I have to do. Oh man. So what I want to do is I want to get to the spotlight part where we take each one of you, and I'm going to give you a couple minutes to kind of motivate the people who are trying to do the same thing that you're doing about the course. You can, if you want to talk about um, the things that helped you out during it, but kind of motivate them your own way and give them some advice on getting in this industry and just pursuing their goals. I'm going to start with you, Elizabeth.
Okay. So I guess I would have to say you have to remember that nothing is permanent. So, you put yourself out there and you're probably going to hear no at least a few times, but you just, remind yourself that you're fantastic and there's nobody else like you in the whole world and that there is a place for you. So no matter how many times you hear no, you just keep pushing, and then eventually you're going to get what you're supposed to get out of life. I definitely found a lot of value in the courses. I mean, it's same. I didn't really have a whole lot of knowledge about makeup application. I mean, when we were kids, these kids now have contouring. When we were kids, we walked around with the makeup mask, like you could see the line on our face. So, I got the makeup information out of the course and the posing. Like I said, I didn't even know that, freeze modeling was a thing. So I definitely gained a lot of valuable information, and the photographer that we worked with was fantastic, and setting all that up through Casablanca's was amazingly easy. They made it very simple to, get the information that you need to have some kind of direction in this business, because without any kind of direction, you're not going to get anywhere. You can put yourself out there, you can put yourself on these casting websites and, just throw yourself around, but without any direction and knowledge, you're not going to get anywhere. And Casablanca's definitely gave me the information that I needed, and they gave me the confidence that I needed, because coming into it, I wasn't certain of myself, and coming out of it, I definitely feel much more confident. I carry myself differently in my everyday life. It's given me a whole other perspective on who I am as a person. So, I mean, I don't know. You can't make people see their own worth, but if people could see themselves the way that the people that love them see them, they would see that they are very special, and everybody wants to see your talent. And I know some people have these amazing talents. They walk around with hidden their whole life because they feel like they're not worthy of the recognition, but you absolutely are, and the world deserves to see it. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to acting classes though, because I did get to sit with a couple of the people in the acting classes, and I'm kind of jealous of the monologue. The commercial was fun, but I can't wait to get more into the acting. I'm going to be pursuing the acting going forward, and I'm really excited about that, and I'm looking forward to how much more I can learn. And that's the other thing. You never stop learning. No matter how old you are, you never stop learning. It's not like the door closes at a certain age and you're not open to new ideas and to personal changes. You absolutely are. So don't close the door on yourself. Keep an open mind, and you know, do what you can for yourself. Absolutely. I don't know what more I can say about it though.
Awesome. I couldn't have said it any better than Elizabeth said it, but I'll try. I would say to anyone who's thinking of going into any kind of entertainment, acting, modeling, just know that there's so much more than meets the eye. This industry is so big, and there is a place for you, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of the camera, voiceovers, and so on and so forth. So before you get to hear anybody else's no, and there's going to be no's, a lot of times drown out the no that you tell yourself. We are our biggest critic. We are our worst critic a lot of times. And a lot of times the hardest part is just getting started. The hardest part is just saying, yes, I'm going to try despite. And when I started, I didn't tell anybody, because not only did I doubt myself, but I knew that there was, other people that was probably going to doubt as well. But just if you've got that drive, if you've got even that inkling in it, just nurture it and give it a shot, give it a try. Because the 30 weeks during that time, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about other people. I know for myself, I'm an introvert, and my time at JC was really good about bringing me out. Yes, I'd done, stuff in other realms and doing other things, but it's a lot different, in corporate America, and you're doing something that's presenting something versus presenting yourself. And it's so hard to do that and get over oneself and one's criticism. And there are going to be no's. There are going to be times where, you're at auditions and you're looking around and you're thinking other things. But just know that if you focus and you try and you do your best and have fun during the classes, there were so many instances where we would laugh together, we would share our wins, we would share our losses, and in that growing a community. So I would encourage anyone, regardless of your age, regardless of what you look like, anything like that, because we're all beautiful in your own skin, in your own talents, and you've got something that the world wants. There's only one you. You've got that thumbprint that no one else can do. And so definitely push forward and just try your best. And if you can connect with like-minded individuals and accountability, do that. And even after the course, I'll say this and I'll wrap, but even after the course, one of the coaches made a really good point about, keep going forward. And at 6 o'clock, I did my classes at 6 in the evening. On Tuesdays, they said, keep going with that time frame, that block of 2 hours where you would devote to your work, devote to your acting or modeling and so forth. And I tried to do that as much as possible. Kind of look at it as a hobby, but also look at it as something that I wanted to pursue and have something to be thankful for, and look back and say I did the best that I could. And that's all that one can do, is just do the best that you can and feed off of everyone, young, old, what have you. And it's just so incredible. Even I was one of the older folks in my course, and I learned so much from younger, and like I'm learning from Jamie and her just her drive and her lust for life, and just love of life and creativity. So feed off of one another, and just don't be that first no that you hear. Give it a chance. That's all I can say. So good luck to you.
Well, I would just say, like, I'm young and I'm getting in, and to anyone else, like, I like to inspire other people to get in, like, whether they're young or old. It makes me feel good knowing that I inspired someone else. That's like one of the biggest things about getting into the entertainment industry to me. And I have a lot of people doubting me, and what makes it a little harder is there are people close to me. So no matter who's doubting you, just keep going, because people don't matter the one when they doubt you. Everyone has an opinion, and no matter how great you are or what you do, there's always going to be someone who doubts you, but there's always going to be someone who thinks like you're doing good, like me. So just keep going and don't let people's words interfere with what you want to do, and do what makes you happy in life. And I wish you luck with getting into the industry, and I'm going to keep trying to get in. And that's pretty much all I've got to say.
To watch yourself grow in this aspect. Debbie says, keep following your dreams. Nothing is impossible. Y'all are amazing women. And LaShawn Smith, I think this was when Marthilde was talking, said, go buy some claw clips from her. I don't know who that's for. Is that for you, Marthilde? Well, no, she's gone.
I'm
Oh,
fairly certain it was, yeah.
so that had to be from her. She lost connection. She's
Tell
out
you
there
what,
today.
Cece, you should have Cece teach in the makeup classes. Cece does some absolutely phenomenal aesthetics.
I'm just curious, you
Doing
guys.
some
You
shit
guys see
coming.
me like moving, right? Oh, sorry. Like you guys can see me like waving, right, and moving around.
Yes.
Good,
Yeah,
because my camera's frozen. All I
I
see is a
know.
picture of my
You
face
have
just
terrible
sitting there.
internet and connection,
Well,
but
that's because you love your face so much. It's what you're, so you just have like this function in your brain where you see what you want to see.
Ooh.
that is
Well,
hilarious.
yes, my face is very gorgeous.
All right, guys. So
But I
thank
will
you
say,
all.
let me just, if I could, to
What?
Jamie's
What?
point,
What? Elizabeth. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
let me just to Jamie's point, people's words can only matter to you if you value them. Words are only words.
Mhm.
And don't
And
value the words of like haters, because you're always gonna have haters no matter how great you are. So
Well, I think the ones that and everything you guys said is true, but I think the ones that hurt is when you hear the words from someone close to you. You know, that's when even when you try to ignore it, you're like, darn, that's my mom or my dad or my brother or my sister or your best friend. So it's and what you're saying is definitely true for people, random people on the internet. I don't know why anybody pays attention to them wholeheartedly. So, a lot of great advice from three wonderful students. I'm so glad to have met you and so glad to keep working with you in the future. For those of you, thank you for joining us for this spotlight for Jamie, Marthilde, and Elizabeth. And join us next time
Thank you.
to a another spotlight for our next featured talent. And Cece, you better find me teach these makeup classes. Everybody enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Bye, everybody.
Thank
you
you. Bye
too. I
bye.
had a great
thank
time being here.
you.
Thanks for having me. I
Thank
had
you
a
so
great time
much.
meeting all you guys and hearing all your ideas. You all have some great ideas. And if this is over now, I'm gonna go see my little kitty and squish his face because he's so cute.
So
But
cute.
I'm just gonna rename this the Jamie Williams Show.
yeah,
Sorry
well,
about.
hopefully one day that will be a real show. I'm gonna keep working at it.